Hello, let me show you how I make this special chicken recipe. First, get some shallots and some onions. I'm going to add that into a bowl, and I'm also adding in some garlic cloves, and I'll be adding in a thumb size ginger. I'm not going to be peeling the ginger, I'm using it just like that. Ginger are expensive now, so you know how to use it. Next, I'm adding in some fennel seed. That is about 1 tablespoon of fennel seed. I also added in 1 tablespoon of rosemary and 1 tablespoon of dry thyme, and I'll be adding in 1 bay leaf as well. All these herbs, I am going to blend everything into a smooth puree. You can also just go ahead to slice the herbs if you don't want to blend yours, but I like it when it's been blended. Now I'm going to place the pot on the heat, and I will now pour in the already washed chicken. Add in some salt, add some stock powder. I'm using chicken stock powder, of course. I am cooking chicken and I should use the chicken stock powder. It's going to enhance the chicken flavor. And I'll also add in about 2 tablespoons of curry powder. I am making a big batch of chicken, so I added 2 tablespoons of curry powder to that. And now I'll pour in the blended veggies or the blended herbs. I'll combine everything together now. Give it a very good mixing. Make sure all the herbs is well combined into the chicken. Most often I get this request from people closer to me, or let me say people that I share my recipe with, people I share my food with. Or usually say, how is my chicken even taste better than the ones they cook? That is because I take my time to use the herbs. I don't just use a little piece. Some are going to make this kind of recipe and they'll just use 1 piece of onions. They might even use just 2 garlic cloves. It's not going to come out as the way I am using mine. You see the amount of chicken I am cooking with, it is much, and that is why I use a lot of garlic cloves, the size of the ginger which I use, the amount of onions and shallots. All these are going to make the meal or the protein so delicious and full of flavors. Of course, it's going to be full of flavors. And when you start cooking, you don't add water to your chicken or your beef immediately when you pour in your herbs and spices. Allow the chicken to release out its own juice, just like mine. This has released out its own juice, and I came back to stir on it before I'll go ahead to add in some water, just a little bit. You don't need too much water to cook your chicken. You just need a little bit of water to cook it through. The water it render itself is just enough to cook it, but for the sake of adding water, just add a little amount of water, and that is it. Then cover this and allow it to cook for another 15 minutes. My chicken is nicely cooked now, and it has a lot of stock. That is because I'm going to be needing the stock, of course. Now I'm going to take the chicken out from the stock, set the chicken aside, and set the stock aside as well. You cannot cook your chicken the same way I make mine and don't get the same result. I bet it with you. Just try to cook it just the same way I cook this one. The same ingredients which I use. All these ingredients are ingredients you can find in the local market. You don't need to be looking for it everywhere. If you are in Nigeria, you can just get it in the market. You can also find them in the supermarket, and this is going to make your chicken to be amazing. You can use it on chicken, you can use it for beef, you can use it for goat meat, and just take a look at the stock, how it came out. It is very organic, and it is so sweet and flavorful. And here comes the chicken stock. I'm going to set that aside. I will be using it for another day, and I'm just going to pour this into some container and keep them in the freezer. And here is our chicken, looking so very pretty and delicious. I'm going to store this in some Ziploc bags and just place them in the freezer because I will not be using it today. This is part of the way I meal prep, and it actually saves me a lot of time. Now that the chicken is nicely stored, I can just take any of the bag and use it anytime I want to use chicken, and that is it. You don't have to go ahead and be looking for how to cook your chicken, how to do this, how to do that. Once you meal prep or you ingredient prep, is just going to make it easier. And this is some weeks later. It's time for me to use the chicken now, and I brought them out from the freezer, and I'm going to just remove it, take it out from the Ziploc bag and fry this straightforward. Just take a look at how the chicken is. I just love the color the chicken has. It has this cooked texture. You can see that the chicken is nicely cooked. Now I'll just begin to place that inside the hot oil, and I'm going to fry this. And before you could even call Jack Robinson, the chicken is already fried. And you can just use this for any food you want to use it for, or if you don't want to fry, you can just bake it, you can grill it, or you can just use it straight ahead like that. It is just going to be amazing. Now the chicken is nicely done, and that is it.